Well, in chapter 16, Paul has kind of finished the bulk of his teaching to the Corinthians in response to their previous letter, and he begins to focus more on their future. In these first 4 verses of 1 Corinthians 16, we've already seen how Paul intends to raise money for poor saints in Jerusalem. And now in verses 5 through to 18, we see something else of what the future holds for Paul and these Corinthian believers. So notice 2 things here. Notice firstly Paul's plans, and notice secondly Paul's commands. Firstly, notice Paul's plans from verse 5 through to 11, where he says this: I will visit you after passing through Macedonia, for I intend to pass through Macedonia, and perhaps I will stay with you or even spend the winter, so that you may help me on my journey wherever I go. For I do not want to see you now just in passing. I hope to spend some time with you if the Lord permits. But I will stay in Ephesus until Pentecost, for a wide door for effective work has opened to me, and there are many adversaries. When Timothy comes, see that you put him at ease among you, for he is doing the work of the Lord as I am. So let no one despise him. Help him on his way in peace, that he may return to me, for I am expecting him with the brothers. We see something here in these verses of both Paul's love and his endurance. He's someone with thick skin, but also a tender heart. Firstly, notice his thick skin and his endurance. He's quite an intense and grueling schedule. He's working in Ephesus, and then he's going to pass by Macedonia before going to Corinth. And don't forget, as he goes through all of this activity, he's continually collecting money for the saints in Jerusalem, where he also hopes to go at the end of his trip. But not just that, but during these travel plans, notice how Paul faces much opposition. Look what he says in verse 9. He notes the opposition he faces in Ephesus, and he actually adds that as an extra reason as why he should stay there. Paul definitely has thick skin, but he also has a tender heart. See, the motivation behind all of these travels is love. He wants to avail himself totally to the work of the gospel. In fact, you might notice in verse 10 and 11, given that Paul can't make it to Corinth straight away, he's going to send Timothy, his co-worker. And notice his love expressed for Timothy in these verses as well. So firstly, we see Paul's plans, but secondly, notice Paul's commands. Look from verse 12 through to 18. Now concerning our brother Apollos, I strongly urged him to visit you with the other brothers, but it was not at all his will to come now. He will come when he has the opportunity. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong, let all that you do be done in love. Now I urge you, brothers, you know that the households of Stephanas were the first converts in Achaia, and that they have devoted themselves to the service of the saints. Be subject as such to these, and to every fellow worker and labourer. I rejoice at the coming of Stephanas and Fortunatus and Achaicus, because they have made up for you in your absence, for they refreshed my spirit as well as yours. Give recognition to such people. A number of people are mentioned in this section. Apollos, who's hoping to visit, Stephanas, Fortunatus, Achaicus. These people were all set up as positive examples. But the crux of Paul's hopes for the Corinthians can really be found in verse 13 and 14. Paul wants them to, look at it, be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong, and let all that you do be done in love. Here's your challenge for today. Think a little bit more about Paul's thick skin but soft heart. Think about the gospel grit to endure and his heart of love. And as you think about your own heart, which do you find more difficult? Which do you find more challenging? Where do you need God to develop within you? Pray that God would help you to appease the area in which you lack, and maybe why not use verses 13 and 14 as your prayer to see that happen. Hope you have a great day.